أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واضرب لهم مثل الرجلين جعلنا لأحدهما جنتين من أعناب وحففناهما بنخل وجعلنا بينهما زرعا كلتا الجنتين آتت أكلها ولم تظلم منه شيئا وفجرنا خلالهما نهرا وكان له ثمر فقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره أنا أكثر منك مالا وأعز نفرا ودخل جنته وهو ظالم لنفسه قال ما أظن أن تبيد هذه أبدا وما أظن الساعة قائمة ولئن رددت إلى ربي لأجدن خيرا منها منقلبا قال له صاحبه وهو يحاوره أكفرت بالذي خلقك من تراب ثم من نطفة ثم سواك رجلا لكن هو الله ربي ولا أشرك بربي أحدا ولولا إذ دخلت جنتك قلت ما شاء الله لا قوة إلا بالله إن ترني أنا أقل منك مالا وولدا فعسى ربي أن يؤتيني خيرا من جنتك ويرسل عليها حسبانا من السماء فتصبح صعيدا زلقا أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا وأحيط بثمره فأصبح يقلب كفيه على ما أنفق فيها وهي خاوية على عروشها ويقول يا ليتني لم أشرك بربي أحدا ولم تكن له فئة ينصرونه من دون الله وما كان منتصرا هنالك الولاية لله الحق هو خير ثوابا وخير عقبا صدق الله العظيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. One of the main lessons in Surah Kahf is to reinforce the aqidah of Ba'ath Ba'd al-Maut. इस सूरत का एक मकसद जो है वो अक़ीदा आखिरत को, अक़ीदा दोबारा उठाए जाने, मरने के बाद क़यामत के दिन दोबारा उठाए जाने के अक़ीदे को मजबूत करना, उसके बारे में किसी भी किस्म के शुकूक व शुबहात से अपने दिल को खाली करके क़यामत के वाक़े होने पर यकीन लेकर आना. Have to remove any doubts regarding Qiyamah, the day of judgment taking place, and to remove any doubts regarding we will be raised from our graves and will be held accountable for everything that we do in this life. This is one of the lessons that is given in Surah Kahf. In that same context of reinforcing this aqeedah of akhirah, of ba'ath ba'd al-maut, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings here a story, whether real or example. Fuqaha, muhaddithin, mufassirin hold different opinion regarding these two people who have been mentioned in this ruku, that if this is a real story of some people who lived in the past. In fact, one of the qawl that I found, that this was actually two people of Makkah. One was a Muslim and one was a non-Muslim. And another riwayat is that this is talking about two people, two brothers from Bani Israel. So, and another riwayah is that this is just an example. Whatever the reality may be, only Allah knows best. But the message, the lesson from the story is apparent and it's clear, and we can easily take, once we understand, once we read this passage from Surah Kahf, we easily understand what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining, is giving us, what lesson is we are receiving from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this story. The translation goes, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has been ordered to give example of the two people. For one of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who was a non-Muslim, who believed, who actually refused the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given him all the wealth and health, might and power. I'm going to skip the word-to-word translation, just kind of going to give you the gist of the ruku', so limited time we are able to get the message and see how it implies in how we can take lesson from this passage and bring it into our lives. The other person was a believing man. He was a believer, but he was poor. The first one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him all the resources, asbab-e zahiriya ke e'tabar se bilkul well off tha, yani very comfortable life. In fact, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the situation of the gardens that he owned, right? It looks like that he had taken care of the survival and the existence of his gardens so good that he himself used to say that I don't think this will ever be destroyed. I have done such a, created or invented such a system to protect it that I don't think it's going anywhere. It's going to stay. Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions his word saying, Ma adunnu an tabida hadihi abada. I don't think that it will ever be destroyed. Right? So much yaqeen, so much tawakkul on asbab adiyah, on means of the resources that are available to us. Right? Before we go further, we need to look into our own aqeedah, our own belief in asbab adiyah. Where do we stand when we compare ourselves with this person who was given all the wealth? He used to say, when he entered his garden, first thing he said was, he was telling his brother or his friend, Ana aktharu minka malan wa a'azzu nafara. I am wealthier than you are, and I hold a big clout. I have many people around me. Maybe he was referring to his children, or maybe he was referring to his group, maybe he was referring to his party. Allah knows best. وَأَعَزُّ نَفَرَ نَفْرِ. जमात बहुत बड़ी थी. सबसे पहले तो उसके ऊपर फख्र किया. The first thing that he said as soon as he entered, his friend or his brother was with him, and he said that I am wealthier than you are, and I have a bigger group than you. Right there, takabbur is obvious. तकब्बुर का इजहार तो यहां से कर ही दिया ना. दूसरी चीज जो इसने कही ना, वो दूसरी चीज जो इसने कही कि I don't think that this will ever be destroyed. ये तो कहीं नहीं जाने वाला. ये why did he say that? He said it because his yaqeen got away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and was so much on resources, so much on means of our life, that he completely forgot that all of these things are working because of the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He forgot about it. The third thing that he said, I don't think Qiyamah will ever be established. Right there and then, Allah ka to inkar kar hi diya. He refused the existence of, when he refused the akhirah, the concept of akhirah, he refused the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he refused Allah. So the third thing that he said, that I don't think Qiyamah will ever be established. وَمَا أَظُنُّ السَّاعَةَ قَائِمَةً. The fourth thing he said, and this is something like this, a person would say that to kind of, hiqarat ko zahir karne ke liye, to mock someone. If I were to be returned, if ever I was going to be returned on the day of judgment, وَلَئِن رُّدِدتُّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّي. If I was ever going to be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. एक तो ये कि मैं तो मानता ही नहीं हूं, क़यामत का तो मैं मुनकिर हूं, मानता ही नहीं हूं. अगर मैंने मान लिया बिल फर्ज कि क़यामत आएगी, क़यामत is going to be established, look at me. Why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me so much of lavish life? Whatever I have here, I'm going to have it over there as well. And just the way you are over here, you will be over there. जूते यहां पे भी घिसते हो, वहां पे भी घिसते रहोगे. Faqir. If Allah was happy with you, He would have given you just what He has given it to me. So the belief was, the acceptance, the belief was that I am accepted in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me so much wealth. He's given me all the resources. And you are not near and dear to Allah because look at yourself. सबसे पहले तो हमें अपने अंदर से इस ख्याल की नफी करनी है कि ये ख्याल हमारे अंदर ना आए. Never for an instant we can think that, because I have all the resources in my life and I have, alhamdulillah, the most blessed when it comes to the use of resources here in this life, that's a sign of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, this is not a sign. अगर ऐसी बात होती तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम would live as a king. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be world's richest man who ever lived on the planet Earth. But that's not the case. So first thing that we get from this, from the first persons, that we should never have this belief in the asbab, this belief and tawakkul and yaqeen in the resources that they are there. And because these are resources, I am the owner of these resources, this is a sign that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with me. No, that's not it. The second brother, the second person, when he looked, when he saw, when he heard what the brother was saying, so the very first thing he corrected was aqeedah of oneness and the wujud and the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, akafarta billadhi khalaqaka min turab thumma min nutfa thumma sawaka rajula. Are you refusing to accept Allah who has given you life from this and this and this? Are you refusing to accept Allah? Do you see that who has given given you existence. You might be thinking that all of these, gardens and the lavish life, maybe you are the owner because you worked hard on it, right? But what about your own self? Where did you come from? You came by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How can you refuse to accept Allah when you yourself know that you could not have been here without the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The very first thing that He gave nasiha about the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second thing, He gave His own aqidah. He said, Lakinna huwa Allahu Rabbi. I believe in Allah being my Rabb. I believe in Allah being my Rabb, and I do not add any partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then He gave a sincere suggestion, a reminder, a nasiha. He said, when you entered the garden, why did you say whatever you said? Why did you say, Ma adunnu an tabida hadhihi abada? What made you think that this will never be destroyed? Why didn't you say, Masha'Allah la quwwata illa billah? You should have said, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted, it's here. There is no strength, there is no power except from what is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why didn't you say that? A hadith mein aata hai, there is a hadith, and the new translation of that hadith is that when a person sees afiyat and experience ease in his household, he should be saying, Masha'Allahu la quwwata illa billah. He will never see anything that will be concerning, that will make him sad regarding his household. Masha'Allah la quwwata illa billah. Masha'Allah la quwwata illa billah. Whenever we see something good, whenever we enjoy moments of happiness in our household, Masha'Allah la quwwata illa billah. Masha'Allah la quwwata illa billah. And then he says, you're looking at me, and I know that I am poorer than you are, and I know that I don't have that big group as you have, but guess what? Asa Rabbi an yu'tiyani khayran min jannatik. Remember that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala holds the power to, and He is the one who decides who gets what. It is possible that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me better than what you have. It's possible. وَيُرْسِلَ عَلَيْهَا حُسْبَانًا مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ فَتُصْبِحَ صَعِيدًا زَلَقًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will descend a azab on your garden, and it will be destroyed, nothing will be left. It is possible. Qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that He is the one who has given it to you. If He wants, He can give it to me, and if He wants, He can take it from you as well. Believe in the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believe in the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take away your belief from the resources, that whatever you have done to protect yourself, to protect your assets, to protect your resources, they are going to be protecting you. No, they are not. Get your belief and your yaqeen and your nazar away from the asbab and take it to musabbibul asbab. This is what he's reminding him. أو يصبح ماؤها غورا فلن تستطيع له طلبا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has many ways to destroy it. If you think that weather is not going to play any role in it, well, what if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away the water that feeds these gardens? You don't have any control over water. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will order the wells and the rivers to dry up, and they will dry up, and now you don't have anything. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will send down something from the heavens, from the skies, and it will be destroyed. So Allah has many, many, many ways of taking this away from you. Don't think that you have protected it through date palms, and you have protected it through good a watering system, and you have all the ways to protect it, that it will never be dried up, nothing will happen. Don't think that. Allah has different ways of taking it away from you. فَلَن تَسْتَطِيعَ لَهُ طَلَبًا. And then you will not be able to get anything out of it. And then what happened? Exactly how he said it. وَأُحِيطَ بِثَمَرِهِ. Uska pura ka pura phal zaya kar diya gaya. whatever crops were ready there, everything was destroyed. However it was, halakat came, destruction came by the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it came in the form of some kind of drought, whether it came in the form of some kind of extra rain or floods or whatever, وَأُحِيطَ بِثَمَرِهِ, everything was destroyed, just the way the poor man said it. فَأَصْبَحَ يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ عَلَى مَا أَنْفَقَ فِيهَا وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَى عُرُوشِهَا. Now when he looked at it, when the first person looked at it, the rich man looked at it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defines the kayfiyat of him looking at the garden and going like this. فَأَصْبَحَ يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ. You know, when we are pareshan, when we are under a lot of anxiety and fear, we just go like this, we don't know what to do. فَأَصْبَحَ يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ. वो अपने हाथ मलने लगा. कफ अफसोस, इसको उर्दू में कहते हैं कफ अफसोस मलना. कफ और अफसोस के साथ अपने हाथ मलने लगा. क्या कहने लगा? या लैतनी लम उशरिक बिरब्बी अहदा. काश के मैं अपने रब के साथ शिरक न करता. I wish I did not commit shirk. Now the point is that he did not commit shirk. He refused to accept the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He didn't commit shirk. Right? If we look close, when a person puts his yaqeen other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what is he doing? Is Allah protecting me or asbab, resources are protecting me? Kuffar Makkah used to say that these idols are protecting us. We may be of the belief that these resources are protecting us. Kuffar Makkah used to believe that the sustenance is provided by this and this and these idols. We might be of the opinion and the belief that as long as I have a job, I'll be able to survive, or else I will die out of hunger. ठीक है? तो शिर्क जो है वो सिर्फ अल्लाह के वजूद का इनकार नहीं है, ठीक है, या अल्लाह ताला के साथ किसी को शरीक ठहराना नहीं है, बल्कि अल्लाह से यकीन को हटाकर, getting your yaqeen away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and putting your yaqeen किसी और को नाफिअ और दौर मानना, ये भी तो शिर्क है. हमने असबाब को अपना नाफिअ समझ लिया. We think our resources and the means that we have, they are our benefactors. We think that as long as we have these resources, we are protected. Once we remove them or once we lose them, we are not going to be protected. Lesson in these verses is that we need to put our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dunya darul asbab hai. This dunya is of darul asbab. We need to acquire, we need to adapt and take and use the resources. This is how Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's life has, this is what Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's life has taught us. That use the resources but put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Use the resources but put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Get ready for everything but put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tie your camel but then put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا كَانَ مُنْتَصِرًا وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ فِيَةٌ يَنْصُرُونَهُ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ. And when all of this destruction came, there was no one to help him, there was no one to protect him, there was no one to benefit him, and there was no one to take revenge for him either. وَمَا كَانَ مُنْتَصِرًا. कोई आदमी उसका बदला भी नहीं ले सका. क्योंकि इंसानों ने थोड़ी डिस्ट्रॉय किया था जो जाके बदला ले रहे थे. अल्लाह ताला था, अल्लाह ताला की जात थी तबाह करने वाली. अब अल्लाह ताला से क्या बदला ले. तो जब ऐसे हालात हो जाएं, इन हालात अल्लाह ताला ने अगर किसी शख्स को वुसअत दी हो तो वो फिर ये समझे अपना यकीन बार बार इसी की तरफ, और अगला रुकू भी इसी बारे में ही है. अगला जो रुकू आ रहा है उसका ताल्लुक भी इसी से ही है. इसी को कॉन्क्रीट करने के लिए, रीइंफोर्स करने के लिए अगला रुकू भी वद्रिब से ही शुरू किया गया. लेकिन उसके अंदर दुनिया की बेसवाती का इजहार किया गया कि ये दुनिया आने जाने वाली चीज है, चली जाएगी, खत्म हो जाएगी, ये हमेशा रहने वाली चीज नहीं है. यहाँ पर माल है, वी हैव मनी, वी हैव चिल्ड्रन, वी हैव बिग ग्रुप, वी हैव अ ग्रुप ऑफ फ्रेंड्स. ऑल ऑफ दिस इज गोइंग टू लीव अस वेरी सून. अब ये जो वाकयात थे, जो हालात इसमें बताए गए, ऑल ऑफ दिस व्हाटएवर वी हैव लर्न्ड थ्रू दिस पैसेज, दिस स्टोरी, or this khutbah regarding Rajulain, regarding the two brothers, if you really pay attention, the collective situation of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we can divide it into three groups. One group, and it may be very small, is the group of believing men and women who are concerned about their iman. They want to live the life the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants them to live their lives. They make mistakes, they commit sins, but right away they realize and they do istighfar. They are concerned about their akhirah, they are concerned about their salah. This group may be consisting of very small people, very small group. Throughout the world, every country might have some, okay, but this is a very small group. Those who really want to live their life according to the ahkam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. इनके मुकाबले में एक और ग्रुप है, बिल्कुल opposite side, the other side of the spectrum. Jaddi pushti Musliman. They are Muslims from generations after generations. They call themselves Muslims, but they have absolutely no connection with the ilm and the amal. They have no connection with Allah and His Rasul. They like Islam, they love Islam, they want to practice. They're not concerned about practicing Islam. They want to be known as Muhammad, they want to be known as Abdullah, Abdul Rahman. But as far as the akhirah is concerned, as far as their lifestyle is concerned, they are not too concerned about it. Allah knows best if this is a huge group or if this is a majority of the groups of Muslim. Allah knows best. Then there is another group, the third group. And again, I want everyone to keep in mind, by mentioning these three groups, where do we stand in the light of these two people that are mentioned here. The third group may be half-half. They want to live their lives according to the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For that, they do pray. But where their earning comes, they are not too concerned about it. They fast, and they want to fast, and you will see them in the month of Ramadan, but throughout the year, they are nowhere to be found. They do good deeds, but at the same time they keep on committing bad deeds without realizing that they will be held accountable for those bad deeds too. So they are half-half. If we are from the first group of people, Mubarak, Alhamdulillah. But if we are from the other two people, other two groups, we need to know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though they are Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like that style. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love them. Allah unko pasand nahi karta, us zindagi ko pasand nahi karta. बाकी ये कि आखिरत में उनका अंजाम क्या होगा वो अल्लाह जाने, लेकिन अल्लाह ताला को वो अंदाज कि बस हमारा इस्लाम जो है ना, our belief, our Islam is only limited to our name, and the rest of our lives we live according to our own desire. This style is not liked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala को ये तरीका जिंदगी पसंद नहीं है. Allah ta'ala को पसंद क्या है कि इंसान कोशिश करता रहे. We keep on making effort to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We keep on making effort to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we fall short, we ask forgiveness. Right away we ask forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, in closing, I'd like to remind everyone that this passage about the two people, it's talking about the evil results of takabbur. It's talking about the evil results of putting our trust in resources other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's talking about the evil results of having nidamat after you have knowingly done something wrong. You know that you're doing something wrong. You know this is not the right way. And especially after the reminder that this isn't the right thing that you're doing, and then you're losing it, and then the person becomes nadim, he's no different than the person who was doing فَأَصْبَحَ يُقَلِّبُ كَفَّيْهِ عَلَى مَا أَنْفَقَ فِيهَا. And then he kept on, just अपने हाथों को यूं करके मलता रहा, अफसोस कफे अफसोस मलता रहा. इसका कोई फायदा नहीं. इन चीज़ों से हमें बचना चाहिए. आखिर में एक चीज़ और कि ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह यहाँ पर आया, ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह आया. मारिफुल कुरान में ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह, यहाँ पे तो आया माशा अल्लाह ला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह. मारिफुल कुरान में ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह को 99 बीमारियों से शिफा का इलाज बताया गया कि द पर्सन हु कंटिन्यूअसली रिसाइट्स ला हौला वला कुव्वता इल्ला बिल्लाह, this is a remedy, this is a medication for 99 disease ailments. One of them is a remedy for our anxiety and depression. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Bas. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. This is a remedy for 99 diseases. One of them being a remedy, a medicine for anxiety and depression. Jazakumullah.